Okay, call to order the October meeting of the New Bern Historic Preservation Commission. Adjustments to the agenda, I'd like to add one item, which is a welcome. We have a new member. Trip Ewer has finished his term and has been replaced by Elena Huber, and we welcome her tonight. Look forward to working with you, and hope you enjoy the group as well as what we do. Any other adjustments to the agenda?
Mr. Chair, before we get to adjustments, you might want to entertain a roll call.
Okay.
All right. So Ross Beebe.
Here.
Gregory Rush.
Here.
Elena Huber.
Here.
Mike Weeka.
Here.
Jim Morrison.
Here.
Tim Thompson.
Here.
John Schmid.
Here.
And it looks like, and Richard Parson, are you here? Here. Yes, okay. He is here, approaching his seat now. And let's see, Molly Bales has been excused.
I'll wait till Richard takes his seat.
You can get rid of that.
He needs you to sit down.
So move on to the consent agenda. There were 3 sets of minutes sent out to you, which are April 17th, 2024, May 15th, 2024, and September 17th, 2025. Were there any corrections to those minutes? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve all?
Do you want to approve the
Consent
whole
agenda.
consent? Because the consent does have the meeting for
All right.
2026. You may want to talk about those too before we...
There are no written decisions, according to the administrator.
Correct.
And then the calendar for the year we discussed at design review, but it is a traditional calendar next year where we meet the first and third Wednesdays of each month, excluding the December regular meeting, the third Wednesday. Are there any concerns about that schedule?
We have it now showing on the screen.
So seeing no concerns,
Mr. Chair, I make a motion we approve the consent agenda, including the 3 sets of minutes and the proposed schedule for next year's meetings.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. With that, the introduction to the meeting, swearing-in process. This Historic Preservation Commission is a public commission appointed by the City of New Bern's Board of Aldermen and is responsible for preserving and safeguarding New Bern's locally designated historic districts, downtown and Riverside, based on U.S. Department of Interior standards, state statutes, city ordinances, and New Bern's historic guidelines. 2 of the major tasks of the HVC include approving applications for a certificate of appropriateness and preventing demolition of historic structures due to neglect. The HVC holds a quasi-judicial hearing on an application for a certificate of appropriateness. The Commission hears sworn testimony and evidence provided by the applicant, by parties who received notice of the hearing, and by others who can justify that they have relevant evidence and are directly affected by the application. The Commission cannot consider comments based on personal likes or dislikes, hearsay, or personal opinion that cannot be directly related to specific historic guidelines. Likewise, commissioners shall refrain from stating personal opinion, personal likes or dislikes, or hearsay during a hearing. The Commission's decision on an application is based solely on testimony and evidence presented at a hearing that directly relates to the historic district guidelines. So we'd like to swear in presenters now. Sir, if you'd come up. You raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the whole truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
And he already signed, so we're good.
Anyone who intends to speak or provide testimony related to a COA application on this meeting's agenda must be sworn in order to make comments. Here's a summary of how we will generally conduct a hearing on a COA application. The HPC administrator provides an overview of the application. The applicant or representative presents the application. Proponents and opponents who receive notice of the hearing can present evidence. Rebuttal is allowed by the applicant and by proponents and opponents who receive notice, and others who can justify that they have relevant information and will be directly affected can present evidence. The HPC administrator presents the staff's findings and recommendations. The applicant or representative has an opportunity to make final comments on their application. Commissioners then discuss the evidence and may ask for clarification from the applicant or presenters. The chairman calls for a motion to approve or deny the application with stated findings of fact. The motion is then discussed by the commission, and the chairman calls for a vote on a motion by the commission. A COA can be approved with conditions, or denied. With that, our first hearing is on 314 Liberty Street. Matt, if you'd like to review that.
Sure. So this was first presented in June. I'm sorry. Wait. This must have been June. And then continued to today. And this is for the, this is the application right here for the New Bern Housing Authority at 314 Liberty Street. And we have, so Reggie Barner is typically the owner for that. However, we do have an authorized representative here. The rest of this is the application for that with Reggie's signature. And here is his Stogner Architecture is their designated representative. And Mr. Zander, that's your last name, right?
Oh, Pagayan is my last name.
What is it?
Pagayan.
Pagayan. Xander Pagayan is the representative for the firm today. Okay, so we have provided, and just because we presented this whole thing the last time doesn't mean we don't have to go through it again, although we will probably go through quicker, and hopefully I think we got most of our questions answered the last time. And I don't know why that just did that.
And the reason it was continued is you had to go to the Board of Adjustment for a special use permit.
Yes.
As I understand
And I
it.
think this was actually continued twice.
Yes.
Yes. All right, so these show aerials of the actual site. This is the building that we're looking at here. That was just a close-up from the previous one, and I'm still going to slide this over. And then we have some site photographs here. I think I probably took these photos. The front, why is this doing this? Sorry. I have a tiny little corner here I have to poke on. And that's the left side and the alley that kind of leads along this side with some parking here. This all gets modified in the site plan, and then around the back, the chain link fence is to be removed, and the grass area is to accommodate some new parking. We'll see that also in the site plan. Here's a farther out view looking at the entirety of that area. Then a closer up view from the alley in across the back of the property. This area will be changed as well as the parking and pavement is redone in this area. Then this is actually the right-hand corner from the front. So we're looking at the right-hand side as best as you can from the street. You'll note there is a like a 6-foot wall here that's already pre-existing, brick wall. And then it continues along the side of the front portion of the building. And there is some a little bit of new stuff being built outside beyond the brick wall here. All right, so these are the photos and explanation of the work for each one of these areas as we go along. These were posted earlier, so you could review them if necessary. The boarded up windows get fixed. One gets closed entirely. The door is replaced. New siding and new windows are provided. New lighting. Taking care of some warped and rotten fascias. New insulated metal entry door. This is a photo from several months ago. And that is at the end of the inside of that brick wall that I mentioned earlier. And that's the back entryway at that time. And now this is what I referred to as the right-hand side of the structure looking from the back. So it's on the right-hand side, the structure is on the right. And that's that chain link area. That was beyond the brick wall. So now this is the rear side of the structure. Can't quite see it maybe so well, but underneath here it's plywood. That would be replaced with aluminum storefront materials like it had been before, or it's covered in aluminum. The rest of the back side there, so the alley is in the distance beyond. To give you a perspective where we're looking, move down a tiny bit. Okay. And then this is also exterior, so the ceiling of this more or less porch or patio, covered patio area. And now on the roof, they're also doing work up there with new rigid insulation and new membrane roofing material. Also up there with the same new siding, new windows, and taking care of any rotten wood. Same here, just different location. Same here. They also include washing the exterior of the building. You can see up here, that happens for the entire building. They're going to be removing these two commercial rooftop ventilation units. The roofing gets replaced, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Mm-hmm. This is again that masonry wall. In this case, I'm mentioning it will just be washed and restored. And they'll be locating some HVAC equipment back there. So now I have to make this smaller to see the floor plan to help us. Not that small. Okay. One more. Okay, so this is the floor plan, and so the street is at the bottom of this plan, and so the main entry is in the middle of this bottom edge, and since I talked so much about it earlier, that brick wall is around this right-hand side here, and I guess it extends past here as well. And then beyond that, on this right-hand side, will be some new fencing. We have a drawing for that. And inside that area will be a new concrete pad there. And there will be a new gas-powered generator in there. As far as the floor plan goes, nothing else really changes much, except in this large community room, they're adding these expanding panels to create a potential temporary wall across the space, and that ends up attaching here on the exterior wall where there was previously a window. So that window is now going to become a solid panel on the outside. So that is something of effect to note, and we will see that in the new revised drawings. This is the roof plan. All right, so this is the site, and outlined here in black, and then the green is to be the grassy areas, the white is the building, in the middle is the building. And all the gray areas are new paving, either sidewalks, patios, or... Sorry, this is a new computer and it is being frustrating. Okay, so the parking area we did see over there will remain the same, but have some new paving here around the new handicap unit and ramp over here, ADA ramp there. And then now you can see the new parking area out back, where previously along the back of the building it had been all concrete along the back. There'll now be some new grassy or landscape areas along the building, with then a walkway between the parking lot and that grassy area. And there'll be a new dumpster, and it's enclosed in an enclosure back here, and we will see a drawing of that. So this is the landscape plan. So you see some new plantings happening on the front of the building. Bushes and shrubs, they're keeping the big old tree on the corner, more bushes and shrubs along this side. Let's see, a couple of these smaller black or medium-sized black dots are some crepe myrtles, and these are also trees back here, eastern redwoods. And we have a little bit of landscaping all along the back side here as well. The curves are just lines, are just lines that are connecting them to identify them as all the same. In this case, hydrangeas. So the little stars, there's two there, and two there, and two there, and two there. Those are all hydrangeas. All right. So these are new elevations since last time. The only changes on the top elevation are they added the windows up here up on the top that they didn't have in the previous drawing. Those windows are existing windows, they just didn't have them in the previous drawing. And please correct me if I misrepresent anything here.
That's right.
And then on this side, this is the side that faces the alleyway, so all of that chain link that's there is being removed. And otherwise, there's virtually no change, especially since the last time. And then this is now the rear elevation, and the change here to this elevation is it shows the panel that it didn't show before, that replaces the window that was there before. And then at the bottom, it's essentially the same as it was last time. This being that it shows this is that generator and the fencing around it. When the building is cut in section, you can, through the entryway, you can see at the entryway something you couldn't see from the other elevation, from the alley facing elevation. That is that they're intending to add two of those bas reliefs from Trent Court in the entryway here. And then these are the illustrations of the dumpster enclosure with its gate, and then the aluminum fencing around the generator. And we can see new exterior stairs and handrail. And the zoning and inspections review indicates, well, this is the same as the last time. So this one talks about special use permit needed, so it no longer needs it. And the chief building inspector says it will require a building permit. And then we're ready with our staff report whenever you're ready.
You have anything to add to that or clarify?
No more, nothing else to add. It was all pretty much the same from last, other than those two elevations that you mentioned.
Okay. And are there any individuals here who choose to speak on this application?
Could you repeat that question?
No,
No.
not
you.
in the,
Oh, okay.
in the audience. Doesn't appear so. Then move on to the administrator
Okay.
recommendation.
Sure. Our staff report. This is for applicant New Bern Housing Authority for the project at 314 Liberty Street. I'm going to make this bigger since I can. Okay. This is for a project to include various modifications and replacements on all AVCs. Oh, by the way, this is a non-contributing building. It was built circa 1974, it was built circa 1974, let me back up. And it could be, by age, a contributing resource, but it would be up to the HPC to determine if it's non-contributing or contributing. And then the National Register inventory description, it's not included. And same with Sandbeck's descriptions, also not included in his book either. So we submit the following historic district guidelines as appropriate to this application for utilities 2.3.1, 2, 3, and 6. For landscaping 2.4.1, 2, 3, and 4. For fences and garden walls 2.5.1, 2, and 3. For accessory structures 2.6.1. For parking 2.7.2 and 5. For signage 2.8.2, 3, and 4. For modifications 3.2.1 and 2. For walls, trim, and ornamentation 4.2.4. For masonry 5.1.6. For metals 5.3.3 and 4. For paint 5.4.2, 6, and 8. For contemporary materials 5.5.1, 2, 3, and 5, and 6. And for masonry maintenance 6.1.2, 3, and 4. For wood maintenance 6.1.6 and 7. And paint maintenance 6.1.11 and 6.1.12. The statements of reason based on the information contained in the application in staff's judgment are: 1, the structure is a non-contributing resource unless you dictate otherwise. 2, the project is maintenance, replacements, generator installation, new parking lot, and site work modifications on all AVCs. 3, the proposed design components and materials meet the requirements of the guidelines. 4, the zoning administrator and the chief building official have reviewed this project and commented accordingly. And 5, the project is not incongruous with the guidelines. And the HPC may want to consider the following conditions. Revised plans according to the changes agreed upon at the hearing shall be submitted by the applicant to the HPC staff for approval according to the guidelines and prior to the final inspection by the Building Inspections Division. That's the end of our staff report.
Okay, let's ask one question. This was a Head Start building originally, is that right?
I think it was a daycare before.
Daycare school.
I think it was
Before they stopped using it.
So, and then let's dispense with the question about contributing structure.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we consider the structure at 314 Liberty Street to be a non-contributing resource.
Yeah,
Is there a second?
I would second that, and I would agree to that. We usually look at historical, architectural, and cultural significance of the structure. Certainly the living spaces were the key part of any historic architectural and cultural significance. In this case, I agree with Mike that this
Yeah, just reading
doesn't meet the bar.
the guidelines, is it significant because of its historic use, an event, a person, a builder, or an architect?
Yeah, I find it to be none of those.
So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So
I have a question. Are we in discussion, Mr. Chair?
Who's the second?
just on that,
Oh, I'm just on the contributing?
yes.
Okay.
And then
I
now,
thought we already passed that.
yeah. Well, and now let's move on to just general discussion on the application. He had no further comments, so let's go ahead.
I have a question, Matt. In your staff report, you had talked about accessory structures. Was there an accessory structure on this plan?
Just the dumpster
Oh,
enclosure.
okay. I thought it
That's maybe even debatable as an accessory
Yeah.
structure. It doesn't have a roof.
Right.
It does
I'm
have
not sure I
walls.
would call that one okay.
Anything else? Anything on the landscaping plan? Because there were a lot of discussions during the design review about landscaping. Anything, concerns there? You did
No.
modify the parking lot, I believe, to shield it.
I'm glad you're keeping that old tree along
Yeah.
the alley there. Thank you.
And the generator we did discuss, and that now has good screening. The contemporary materials that you're using are on the surface, correct? The woods, there's no longer a wood surface, correct? It's now contemporary materials?
Yeah, it's going to be for the siding, it's going to be cement siding, fiber cement siding.
Hardy or whatever.
Yeah.
okay. Which is fine in a non-contributing. Anything further? Any more comments? So it will be used as the headquarters administrative building for the Housing Authority?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So with that, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to move that we find the application for 314 Liberty Street, the certificate of appropriateness for 314 Liberty Street, to be not incongruous with New Bern's Code of Ordinance, sections 15-411 to 15-429 and New Bern's Historic District Guidelines based on the following specific guidelines and findings of fact. Applicable guidelines, 2.3.1, 2.3.2, 2.3.3, 2.3.6, 2.4.1, 2.4.2, 2.4.3, 2.4.4. So I can scroll this down. 2.5.1, 2.5.2, 2.5.3, 2.6.1, 2.7.2, 2.7.5, 2.8.2, 2.8.3, 2.8.4, 3.2.1, 3.2.2, 4.2.4, 5.1.6, 5.3.3, 5.3.4, 5.4.2, 5.4.6, 5.4.8, 5.5.1, 5.5.2, 5.5.3, 5.5.5, 5.5.6, 6.1.2, 6.1.3, 6.1.4, 6.1.6, 6.1.7, 6.1.11, 6.1.12. Findings of fact, the structure is a non-contributing structure. The project consists of maintenance, replacement, a generator, additional parking, and modifications to different areas of visual concern. The design, the components and materials meet the guidelines. The zoning administrator and chief building official have reviewed and commented on the application. And finally, the project is not incongruous with the guidelines and does not diminish the special character of the downtown historic district. One condition is that any revisions to the plan that the HBC is approving tonight, those changes will be taken to the HBC administrator to be evaluated by the HBC administrator and submitted back to the HBC if necessary.
I'll second.
Any discussion? I'll ask the administrator, don't see in the packet the building inspector, but I know I've seen that before. Is that in there?
Didn't I just have that?
You had
You had
the
the zoning.
zoning.
Right there? Building
The
the
bottom of the page.
He just didn't have any comments. He's
Oh, okay,
checked off.
excuse me.
It will
All right.
require a building permit, and he signed
Okay,
it. and
thank you.
Yep.
So call the motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion to issue a COA.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We're done.
Thank you, everyone.
Finally.
Thank you.
It's a good plan.
Okay, we don't have the next gentleman here. Shall we move on to the third one?
Certainly, yes.
And that's a request to continue the application for 206 and 208 Metcalf Street to January, a regular meeting?
That's correct, which
And-
now we have established as January 21st.
Right. And since the applicant is here, could I ask you to consider something? You signed the original application on August 4th. January 21st is going to be 170 days after that. Now, the ordinance and our rules of procedure call for us to make a decision within 180 days. And my concern would be if for any reason in the design review, perhaps in January, or maybe you might not attend in January, couldn't attend, we'd have no choice but to deny it. So would you agree now to extend the 180 days for 90 more days, 270 days?
Yeah, I'm happy to completely take it off the agenda and put it back on. The reason I pulled it off was I don't know what my schedule is going to be, so whatever is not going to be clutter, waste time, or result in an automatic denial, I am more than happy to do.
Yeah, there's no,
So the extension would meet that the best.
yeah,
I think the extension would probably be the best. That way you don't have to reapply. The same application holds. It just gives us a little bit, it gives both of us just a little bit more time to get it in.
I'm good with whatever's easy, and I'm planning on coming to the design review meeting because there was a few little things that I want to figure out. I want to have it locked in. So whatever's easy, Matt, just let me know, and I'll be there when I need to be. It's just my schedule's a little crazy.
90 days additional, if
Sure.
that's fair.
Yeah, that's great.
Appreciate that. And that obviously wasn't meant to push you along, but to push us along.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay,
All right.
so
Need a motion,
need
don't
a
you?
motion to,
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we postpone the project, continue the project at 206, 208, is that the?
Metcalf, right.
Yeah, Metcalf Street, till the January 21st meeting, and as part of that, also to grant the extension, a 90-day extension for the application for COA.
You guys don't grant the extension.
The applicant.
Really?
Just you recognize perhaps that the applicant has agreed to
Right.
extend the deadline.
So noted?
It's a deadline on you guys, it's not a deadline on them.
Okay.
Time and place.
Okay. So the continuance to the January 21st meeting at this same location, same time, for the reason that the applicant has requested that continuance. And we recognize that the applicant has ask for an extension for 90 days. Is that okay?
In the window for consideration.
Sure, in the window for
Is that
consideration.
fair? Okay. Is there a second? Okay. Any questions on that motion? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. All right. Now, Matt, do you think 1409 Pasteur is coming?
We can keep moving.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's okay with
I
we can
me.
go-
suggested that,
And
you know,
and then
we wouldn't.
if no one's here by the end of the meeting.
Right.
Right. I suggested we wouldn't be done till 6:15 to 6:30 at least, so.
Okay.
Okay. So with that, we have no old business that I'm aware of? General public comments?
Soraya Bliss, 711 Pollock Street. I have a question. I'm hoping you'll answer it. If not, okay. First, did want to say it's really nice to see movement on the HPC standards and guidelines. I see that you have some proposed dates for meetings and a survey. That's a huge timing improvement from earlier this year, so that's excellent, and I'm sure that was a lot of work. One thing that's really important, I think, in these sessions that are going to happen with the public is that there's a clear understanding of the rules and constraints that anyone has to operate under. So last month I asked about the level of autonomy that the HPC has to create its own guidelines. Certainly there's the Department of Interior and there's SHPO, but at a local level, every jurisdiction has full autonomy, even in a certified local government, to create the rules that work best for them. My question is that the understanding that the HPC has, that you guys do have full autonomy? And if you have a different understanding of that, could you please share what it is, so as we're going into these meetings, everyone is on the same page?
Well, you know, we don't answer questions.
Mr. Chair, I would think that at our meetings, we'll be glad to explain kind of the basis for what we're doing, and that might be a good time to talk about such things. This is not probably the right venue, but I think that would be a good thing at one of our meetings, both of the meetings probably.
And I expect you'll be there.
You're talking about
Yes,
this
yeah, I will.
The special meetings that we're going to be talking about in a few
Right.
minutes, which she referenced in her comments.
Yeah, the November 6th and November 10th, assuming that you guys vote on that, and that's what happens. Okay, you don't answer questions, so I guess I would like to put a request forth to Matt. Can you follow up with me on what the answer to that question is, the understanding that the HPC has on its level of autonomy?
Well, can you send me an email to that effect?
Sure,
so you
I
get
absolutely
the
can.
Actual.
And then the other question I'll have, which I'm not expecting an answer to, but I will also ask Matt, is in that meeting, is it going to be discussion-based where the public actually has an opportunity to engage and get questions answered? Or is it going to be where people ask questions and they're not going to get any answers? And then the final question I have that I'll also put forth is, in the design review meetings, there's 2 HPC meetings every month, design review and this. In the design review meeting, the board's position is that you don't always allow public comments. That's at your discretion. And when you do allow public comments, you say the same thing, that you don't answer questions. And then here, you don't answer questions. Matt, my question for you is there an opportunity to get a response back from the board on what their position is on things, or does the HPC act as a mediary for everything that the public wants to know? And I'll put that in an email. Thank you.
Okay. Moving on, new business. I'm calling for 2 special meetings, one on November 6th and another on November 10th. The purpose of these meetings is to hold small group discussions of HPC design standards with the public. The meetings will be Thursday, November 6th at Stanley White Recreation Center from 5:30 to 7:30 at 601 3rd Avenue, and on Monday, November 10th from 1 to 3 p.m. at West New Bern Recreation Center, 1225 Pine Tree Drive. Advertising will be published, and a survey will also be sent out to both districts' property owners as well as some others in advance for those who wish to respond via email. And the format will be discussion groups, not answering questions, but gathering comments. We would like to know what people are concerned about.
Mr. Chairman, did you mention that at each table will be a different discussion or different topic, and they'll rotate on a time-based?
That's the current.
That's the current plan.
We're calling it a charrette.
Charrette, not charades, but charrette.
Exactly.
So it'll hopefully be a good session. We do seek public input. That's the purpose of it. And the email that's going out as well is a 30 question with room for comment. So that's our goal. So do we need a motion to schedule that meeting, or do I just call it?
The rules of procedure allow you to call as the chairman, but since you all are here, you're welcome to entertain a motion just to get everyone's buy-in on those times and dates for those purposes.
A motion to...
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion that we, I guess we're not calling, you called it, that we ratify your calling of two special meetings, one on November 9th and another on November 10th.
6th.
What did I say, 9th?
Yeah.
November 6th, I'm sorry. November 6th and November 10th. The purpose of the meetings is to hold small group discussions regarding the HPC design standards and their procedures. The meetings will be public, and the first will be at 5:30 to 7:30 on the 6th at the Stanley White Recreation Center, and the other will be on Monday, November 10th from 1 to 3 at the West New Bern Recreation Center, which is at 1225 Pine Tree Drive.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. And I had emailed you, if you will let me know which you can attend, hopefully both, but please let me know. And Elena, I'll get you a copy of it too.
What time is November 6th again?
5:30 to 7:30.
Yeah, the Thursday is an evening meeting, the Monday is an afternoon meeting.
They're both 2 hours?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
That's we have an extra half hour, I think, on each. But
That's the goal.
Yeah.
I think it depends a little bit on how many people actually come.
So shall we proceed with the administrator's report and then see
Sure.
if the gentleman comes for
So we-
1409 North Pasteur?
Right. So we can see from September 5 to October 1, there have been no COAs denied. And same time period, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 major COAs, extensions, amendments, and conditional approvals issued, with 1 pending. And from September 5 to October 1, the minors were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those, with about 28 pending. I counted today, and we're down to about 23 pending. We've done more than 5, but many have come in just even today. Another one came in, so
Is the new process helping?
yes.
Good.
Yes. Well,
You say new process.
the biggest help is that I didn't have to do any notifications or anything for this
Right.
meeting,
Right.
and we didn't have any new applications that people were trying to submit new information at the last minute and phone calls and all that stuff. So I actually did get quite a few, comparatively compared to normal, quite a few COAs and replacements in kind issued this past 2 weeks.
And I'll just take the time, I guess you can correct me, but first you had to determine who lived within 100 feet of each application.
Oh, for notifications, yeah.
Then you had to send letters out to each one. Then you
That's
had to
correct.
put a sign out.
Yes.
And then, so it saves a good bit of your time.
It does. And then lastly, under D, I have, these are miscellaneous things. This time we have a violation that was solved over that time period, or resolved, case closed over that time period for 610 Craven Street. And that's the end of my report.
Okay, are there any commissioner comments? And did you say you told them 6:30 or 6:15?
6:15.
Okay.
Yeah, so. And they're fully prepared to be here next month if they.
We could have Tim do his 5 minutes.
I would just hate that we wrap the gavel and he comes sauntering
Yeah,
in.
yeah. But you don't want that to happen.
But we don't have anything else left to
No,
discuss,
so-
so.
Okay, with that, if there's no commissioner comments, we will have an early night, so.
Should we take action on?
Yes, you need to vote on continuing 1409.
We'll have to continue. Yeah. So is there a motion to continue 1409 to
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to continue
November?
the hearing of 1409 North Pasteur Street to November 19th, the next regular meeting at 5:30 in City Hall. Justification is the applicant was out of town and they were not sure they could get back in time for the hearing.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? The meeting continued. All right, appreciate your time. Then a motion to adjourn?
So I'll move for adjournment, Mr. Chair.
Second? Second. All those in favor?
Aye.